Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Tuesday, the 24th of May, comes to you from London. And I've got this emissions chart, which I'll post on LinkedIn. We're back into the 70s on carbon emissions, breaking that 80 euro support level with downside targets on the charts here on these point and figure charts. If you're trading carbon, you really do need to be watching these 1 minute charts in real time. These targets kicking in. We were bearish in our report to client yesterday. We said we favoured the downside, and today we're more bearish still with these downside targets and that support level broken. So really quite interesting, and I'll post this to LinkedIn. Just by pressing this button here, I can post straight to LinkedIn from Updata. And of course, you can put images behind the chart just for the drawing tool, either your own custom images or flags or whatever, which is why a lot of my charts have that. We'll look at the energy mix in a moment, but let's start by looking at what's going on in the major markets. We've got quite a bit of red on the screen again this morning, so a lot of volatility still. The dollar index has fallen back quite a bit this week, and we see on that short-term chart that we're bearish below the cloud. Remembering, if we're above the cloud, we're bullish, below we're bearish. This is weekly, daily, and 60-minute, long-term, medium-term, and short-term view of the market with the corresponding point and figure targets. So straight away, I get a very quick, instant view of what's going on. So the euro is bearish on the long and medium term, but bullish short-term. No clear upside targets on that short-term chart. So we expect this counter trend move to be short-lived. Sterling sitting at 125.85. Again, has had a stronger week. We do have an upside target here of 128, so that's what we're pushing for on the sterling chart. If we look at sterling against the euro, we're sitting at 117.29, so just a bit weaker there, falling back again this morning. Bitcoin back below the $30,000 mark. Really, it is game over for cryptocurrencies at the moment. We are below the cloud on the weekly now, and on the medium term daily, and on the 60-minute chart. No really exciting upside targets at the moment. So we need a thrust, a pullback, and then a confirmation to give us a new upside target to aim for. The S&P 500 index was up yesterday nearly 2%, but today it's going to give up nearly all of that ground, down 1.4% on the future, and the Nasdaq future down 2.2%. On the E-mini Nasdaq. So really looks like we will go lower. The VIX volatility is sitting just below 30. The fear index back into the fearful zone. Medium and longer term starting to look more and more fearful. So markets really just struggling. FTSE futures down 0.8%, and the DAX in Germany down just under 1%. The CAC Comp down 1%. Asia was pretty much down across the board. India is the only one that was up 0.36%. China down 2.4%, so really just continuing those bear trends there. And the Aussie market digesting the election result, down 0.25%. We'll look at the energy mix in a minute. Wheat is a standout, up 0.5% this morning on grains, so looking stronger there. Keep an eye out for our weekly report at the end of this week, where we cover 100 different instruments, including all the grains. Gold sitting at 18.55, holding on here, and silver back below that 22 level that it did break yesterday. So again, we're just struggling. And US 10-year yields sitting at 2.82%. Just a short-term bearish there, but on the whole, medium and long-term targets. And of course, we make a new high. We've got a target of 4.1% on the 10-year yield. Energy mix now, looking at energy, we've got Brent crude down 1% this morning. We were neutral here. We've got downside targets. WTI was more bearish, and we put that out in our report this morning. US nat gas looking pretty strong, down slightly, but really jumped yesterday, and now at the ascent to break that 9 level, and we've got a very big upside target there activated on the 60-minute chart. Keep watching that if you're trading nat gas. Bob gasoline down slightly this morning, so just seeing a bit of a fall there, but still having made new highs. The trend is up. Coal, we talked about the breakout in our weekly report start of the week, and we've got some pretty big upside targets. Emissions we've just mentioned looking weaker this morning. Downside targets here to the mid-70s, and I've just got another target that's just coming in on crude oil, heading lower with a new downside target there as well. And looking at gas prices, we are looking a little bit better here this morning. TTF up 2%. MBP up 4%, so looking a little bit better, but still quite bearish below the cloud on both the medium and short-term charts. So this is daily and 60-minute. The 1-minute charts are what you really need to be watching if you're trading any of these energy products. Taking a look at German power, we are up slightly this morning. We do have downside targets though, so we are maybe just finding some cloud support, but these downside targets hanging over us, and that is affecting power markets generally. If we look at power prices, seeing really across the board, right through the southeastern European prices, Romanian power, Bulgarian power, all these prices coming from OTC Global Holdings included for Updata users in professional and enterprise editions. So all this energy data across all European power markets freely available to you in the Updata system. Looking at all the power markets though, we are just seeing quite big falls last night in that pricing. The energy mix, these are all my alerts today. We're looking at the news. Don't forget to read our energy report. You can scroll through these and the weekly report yesterday that was out giving you a view on the week. But most of all, keep an eye out for our global reports. This was our May report, and this covers 100 different instruments, and this will be out this week for what we're to look for in June. So it's going to be quite key for looking for the changes there. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.